Good morning, friends. At least it started out as morning. I don't even know what time it is now. Like 11 o'clock, so it's still morning. I've been trying to do this since like 9 a.m. and I can't even tell you how many times I've had to hit the stop button. There's a ton of noise going on upstairs. It's a show day. There's going to be a lot of people and a lot of music happening right there later on tonight. So it is busy. It means lots of activity happening upstairs. And as difficult as it can be to talk through some of this noise, it is an absolute joy to do so. It means that the world's coming back. That noted, I was at a rock show Thursday night, if you remember, and doing another rock show today is not going to be fun for my brain. So I will probably hide in my bedroom, watch a lot of basketball. March Madness, friends. Oh, if you're seeing any of this basketball, my goodness. I always feel bad for the blowouts. There's going to be blowouts. In sport, there's going to be blowouts, man. And I feel bad for them. But the other games, man, some of these games have been absolute nail biters, man, and defensive clinics. And oh my gosh, does that make me happy. It makes me so excited. I'm so glad that March Madness is back. I'm glad that music is back. I'm glad that it's going to happen there. I'm just not necessarily willing to be a part of it so much today. My brain needs a break. So grateful for all that noise and activity. Again, as hard as it can be to talk through it, I'm just excited. It's a beautiful noise because it means stuff is happening and things are going on and the house is coming to life again. So I'm grateful for that. Anyway, step 11. Let's get to this one, right? Wow, it's a biggie. Okay. So, step 11 reads, sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood Him, praying only for knowledge of His will for us and the power to carry that out. I'm going to say it again for all them kids in the back. Sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood Him, praying only for knowledge of His will for us and the power to carry that out. Opening sentence reads, prayer and meditation are our principal means of conscious contact with God. And the opening pages of this step in the book, as it appears, speak to all of that stuff that happens when we first get into the program of Alcoholics Anonymous. All of those people that are balking at the higher power, all of those individuals that really struggle with the idea of God, the atheists. I want to touch on a point and note that I know that maybe even in other videos, certainly in the past, I've used the term atheist, atheistic, and to suggest that I myself was an atheist or I was, atheistic in my practices or ideas when I first came into the program, to suggest that I was like that when I first got here would certainly be less than honest. There's no real truth to that as I look back now. I firmly believe that if there's one word that would best describe my own personal struggle, I'm an agnostic. I'm an agnostic then as I am now. I don't know. I really don't know. And I cling to that. I cling to that because it leaves me teachable. And by the grace of God, whatever that is, whether it's the group, whether it's some great spark in the universe, whatever that great unknown is, whatever that magical music is, I don't know. I don't know. And I cling to that ignorance because for me there's innocence there and it's beautiful. And to that end, that's where I hit my knees every morning before my feet hit the floor. My knees are on the floor before I drag my ass back into bed at night. I contact that unknown in those moments. I don't know. And that's what I'm looking to do in those moments, is hit the restart button. Hit that restart button, start all over fresh, and connect with that quietness, with that great unknown, with that power that keeps those people in those rooms sober. Because that's what I want. I want what they have. What it is, I don't know. Meditation for me has been as simple as John Kabat-Zinn. that's all the information I have. John Kabat-Zinn. I know John Kabat-Zinn is on YouTube. I know John Kabat-Zinn is on the internet. I know John Kabat-Zinn has 2 books. I've said his name a few times now. John Kabat-Zinn, Full Catastrophe Living. Everywhere I go, there I am. That's John Kabat-Zinn. Get those books. Get your hands on them. Listen to John Kabat-Zinn. Listen to his teaching. Meditative Awareness changed it all for me. I was introduced to John Kabat-Zinn from a therapist in London. That therapist taught me that this person was certainly the best source of information regarding meditation, at least for him. And I would definitely agree. Meditative awareness for me has simply meant I sit in a very purposefully, as perfect as I can get it, Indian style position. For lack of a better term, I sit Indian style. I try to improve my posture, make it as perfect as I can. Not necessarily that lotus position, but either way, you'll figure it out. Get online, research the things I'm talking about. I sit in that position as perfectly as I can. I typically try and go for about a half an hour, 30 minutes if I can get there, 15 to 20 minimum, and I breathe. I breathe as described by Mr. John Kabat-Zinn. And what that's allowed me to do is recognize my ability to slow things down. Just be in the moment. And connecting that to those restart moments when my knees hit the floor before my feet in the morning, when my knees are on the floor before I drag my ass into bed at night, those quiet moments with that unknown spark, whatever it is, when I'm slowing it down, reconnecting with that power greater than me, I can then take that into my day-to-day, and I can pick up on moments throughout the day. I can pick up on that second where this conversation isn't going the way I would have hoped, and I can check my own motivations, I can check my own intentions, and I can look at how I can better prepare myself to go into the rest of that conversation, how I can be better for the people I'm conversing with. That's where prayer and meditation for me has allowed me to practically, throughout my day, practice my recovery, if that makes any sense. I didn't want to get into a lot of talking points in the book. I had some really good thoughts that I wanted to share with you. Certainly step 11, as far as the language goes, provides a real valid argument for all those people who say, I don't want God, I don't want Jesus shoved down my throat, I don't want all that faith stuff, I don't want all that, spirituality garbage in my recovery. All of those people definitely have some validity in their argument by the time we hit step 11. We're told initially when we're sitting at the tables, not to worry so much about the God thing, not to worry so much about that. We can find our own higher power. We can have a higher power of our own choosing. Certainly, the program of Alcoholics Anonymous talks to us in the literature. We're discussing science and spirituality, right? We're trying to bring those two halves together. That's what Dr. Bob and Dr. Bob and Bill, figured out, and that's what those initial founders figured out. It was success could be found by balancing these two places. I don't want to take this thing off the rails, but I just wanted to kind of hit home that idea that by the time we hit step 11, if we've done the work as it's spelled out in these pages, we should be glaringly aware that there's more going on here than we can put our finger on. And if we're willing to walk this walk, and we're willing to do the work and get into that deep water of recovery, we're going to find out more about ourselves than we ever imagined possible. It's not for me to discuss faith and religion. I'm no theological expert. I'm no, PhD minister. I'm not that guy. I'm just some random dude in Elmer, Ontario, Canada. What I do have is 25 years of life experience to offer. And what I do have is the truth of my story, which is that religion wasn't for me. Faith wasn't for me. None of that stuff was palatable by any stretch of the imagination. But when I got my knees under a table, Alcoholics Anonymous, and somebody told me I could decide, I could choose, I could make that determination for myself, I sat up and took notice. And I was like, okay, here we go. That's what we find in these pages, in this journey. We find power and strength. We become empowered. We become strong. We get to know ourselves, our weaknesses and our strengths, our good and our bad, and we get to embrace who we are. And that prayer and meditation that we find in step 11, that ability to connect with whatever that power is, whatever that spark, that great unknown is, that we get to find on our own terms, it transforms us. And that transformative power is honestly what we're seeking when we walk in the doors of Alcoholics Anonymous. We want to be a better version of the person that we brought into those meetings. And it's there for us, right in these pages. So I'm going to hit the stop button on that guy. I'm going to call that one, put it in the books. I'm going to say thank you so much. I'm going to watch this one back, pray that it makes sense, and pray that each one of you can find joy in this process. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for this silly technology in front of me and the chance to put my thoughts out there into the ether. And I'm grateful for anybody that's paid attention long enough to watch. So again, thanks. It works if we work our friends one day at a time. And I'm cheering you on, man. I love each and every one of you guys. So like, comment, share, whatever. Just let me know what I can do better. And I'm going to keep going, man. Take care, guys. Thanks a lot.